In the first segment, you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected.
Yeah.
That woke is a word used by the black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words
and
migrate.
So why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice. Who's not for that? But words do migrate.
At all concerned about the fact that the International Criminal Court just today issued a subpoena for Bibi Netanyahu?
Well, that's ridiculous.
Maher didn't just disagree with Sunny Hostin, he dismantled her and the entire woke side of Hollywood with the precision of a surgeon and the flair of a roast master. Maher delivered a takedown so clean and ruthless that it left everyone in the studio staring in shock. The wild part is that these two should technically be on the same team, both leaning left. But Maher isn't playing by the woke rulebook anymore, and he made sure Hostin understood that in the most public way possible. It was a moment of pure televised drama that no one could look away from.
In the first segment, you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected.
Hostin thought she was playing chess when she suddenly called Maher a hypocrite, but she completely miscalculated. She tried to frame him as someone attacking a culture he supposedly belonged to, but Maher wasn't born yesterday. He saw right through her setup as if it were made of glass and refused to fall for the woke mob's favorite trap. Twisting words to corner their opponents is their usual trick, but this time Maher flipped the board and left them stunned.
Any doubt that I was right about the change that's happened in the left? Watching people protest for a terrorist organization like Hamas? That straightened me up pretty quick.
Bill Maher recently appeared on The View to promote his latest book. But what everyone expected to be a simple PR moment quickly erupted into a fiery verbal showdown. The man known for leaning left shocked the entire audience by turning his sharp wit on his own side, and no one saw it coming. It felt less like a talk show and more like a barbecue, with the woke mob sizzling on the grill. It all began when Sunny Hostin tried to back Maher into a corner, questioning why he was weaponizing the term woke.
It struck me that in the first segment, you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected.
Yeah.
So the term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and bastardized. And so I was surprised to hear you use the term because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words
and
migrate.
So why is that a bad thing?
Hostin thought she was being clever, playing chess while everyone else played checkers, when she suddenly called Maher a hypocrite. She tried to paint him as someone attacking a culture he supposedly belonged to, but Maher wasn't falling for it. He saw right through her setup like clear glass and had zero plans to walk into the woke mob's favorite trap. Their old trick of twisting words to corner opponents didn't stand a chance this time. Maher shattered it with confidence and precision, leaving the studio stunned.
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice. Who's not for that? But words do migrate. Now, I'll use any term you want.
Okay.
Because maybe that is a word that's triggering, and so let's not use that word. I don't know. Want to call it the super far left?
Bill Maher's first move was pure genius. He sidestepped Hostin's trap with calm precision, explaining that language constantly evolves. A word's meaning today might be completely different tomorrow, he said, and his use of woke reflected the twisted version the far left had turned it into. Hostin probably expected to watch Maher crumble under the weight of her hypocrisy charge, but instead, she fell right into his setup. Maher flipped the script, forcing Hostin to taste the very trap she tried to spring. An intellectual takedown so smooth it left the crowd buzzing.
But don't tell me that the left hasn't changed. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a joke. But,
Too dark, too dark.
Well, maybe it is, but it's true. I mean, you know, if I had any doubt that I was right about the change that's happened in the left, watching people protest for a terrorist organization like Hamas, that straightened me up pretty quick.
Did you catch that? Here's Bill Maher, a lifelong liberal, admitting that he straightened up real fast when he saw the so-called woke mob openly cheering for Hamas. Yes, Hamas, the same group notorious for insisting Israel shouldn't exist and must be wiped off the map. Terrifying, right? But it doesn't stop there. Their ideology has inspired relentless efforts to eliminate Jews across borders, spreading hate like wildfire. And yet, unbelievably, these so-called woke warriors are pointing fingers at Israelis for simply existing while applauding a terrorist group's twisted mission. For all his left-leaning ideals, Maher was just as horrified by this madness as everyone else, and he wasn't afraid to say it out loud.
It's just astounding to me that they can't tell the good guys from the bad guys. I mean, just morally. I mean, let me tell you, if you're for Hamas, just live in Gaza for a day. And I'm not talking about while the war is on. I mean, before the war. Trust me, you would go running and screaming and begging to live in Tel Aviv, a place that has your values.
Maher nailed it perfectly. Most of the women on The View, including Hostin, would rather live in Israel than Palestine. And deep down, they know it. Israel upholds freedoms that mirror American values, while Palestine enforces strict laws that suffocate women's rights. Maher didn't hold back. He exposed the woke crowd's hypocrisy with brutal honesty. They scream against Israel's actions, yet none of them would last 5 minutes under Palestine's oppressive rule. The double standard is glaring. Maher tore through the noise, revealing the harsh truth about women's freedom in Israel versus Palestine. And just like that, the woke mob started to squirm in their seats.
I mean, women have no, I mean, this is a show watched by a lot of women. Women have no rights in this place, and a lot of majority Muslim countries around the world. I mean, there is no equal rights as far as speech, dress, opportunities for education, reproductive rights, freedom from sexual violence, freedom from sexual harassment.
The LGBTQ community as well.
Yes. That too. But you throw around the term apartheid. There is a gender apartheid in a lot of the world, where women are second-class citizens, at best.
Maher struck again with another devastating blow, this time spotlighting the shocking gender inequality in many Muslim-majority nations. These are the very countries the so-called woke warriors passionately defend without understanding the grim reality. In essence, Maher was telling Hostin and her crew to hop on a plane and witness firsthand how women are oppressed and silenced at every turn. It was a subtle, yet absolutely crushing uppercut that left the panel speechless. Desperate to recover, they played the predictable innocent civilians card, hoping to trap Maher again. But he wasn't budging. If they thought he'd fold under pressure, they were in for yet another brutal wake-up call.
Are you at all concerned about the innocent civilians that have been collectively punished and murdered, largely children and women?
Of
and
course.
Are you at all concerned about the fact that the International Criminal Court just today issued a subpoena for Bibi Netanyahu?
Hostin realized Maher had completely demolished her earlier argument, where she questioned why a self-proclaimed leftist like him wouldn't support woke culture. So, in a desperate pivot, she tried to twist his stance by implying he supported violence against innocent civilians. Her question came right after Maher's sharp rebuttal, aiming to challenge his morality and paint him as heartless. Classic woke tactic. When logic fails, attack someone's ethics. But Maher was ready for it. He unleashed another powerful counterstrike that shattered Hostin's argument and the entire woke strategy in one go. It was a masterclass in composure, strategy, and intellectual precision.
Well, that's ridiculous, but it's a war.
Why?
It's a war because it's a war, and they were attacked, and they're defending themselves. Now, this is a war. Do you think Hamas needs to be destroyed?
Hostin quickly realized Maher had just torched her earlier claim about why a true leftist like him wouldn't stand behind woke culture. So, in one last desperate attempt, she tried to brand him as a supporter of violence against innocent people. It was the same tired move. When their logic collapses, they resort to moral grandstanding. But Maher wasn't fooled for a second. He saw it coming from miles away. He fired back with another ruthless verbal strike, tearing apart Hostin's weak argument and shredding the woke playbook into tiny, hopeless pieces. And here's the kicker. Maher's counter wasn't just smart, it was pure tactical genius, the kind that leaves everyone stunned in silence.
This is the question.
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
So how
Okay,
can we
well,
get out with a ceasefire?
All right, so Hamas needs to be destroyed because they are a terrorist organization who say openly that they want to commit genocide on the Jewish people, on the state of Israel. That's what from the river to the sea means, okay? And they say it very openly. They said, we did this attack. They've attacked Israel 5 times. They've started 5 wars since they were given that land back. They could have chosen to turn that place into any place they wanted to, and they took a lot of money that they took from the international community, and they spent it on bombs and guns and building tunnels. So if they need to be destroyed, how do we do that? It's a war. I don't know how to do that, and you don't know how to do that. I assume the Israeli Of course, everybody is, but that's what happens in a war. Here's a way to stop that. Stop attacking Israel.
And then it happened. A truth bomb dropped with Maher's trademark calm precision that shook the entire room. Everyone burst into applause, except Hostin, who sat there frozen, feeling the burn. She looked like a drenched cat on a stormy night, unable to hide the sting of defeat. Maher didn't just win the debate. He completely dismantled the woke mindset right in front of a live audience. Even the panelists and the left-leaning crowd couldn't help but clap for his brilliance. Maher knows the woke playbook inside and out, and he exposes its flaws with surgical precision. But he wasn't done yet. Not even close. When Whoopi asked if the media manipulates the news to fit a narrative, Maher's answer was pure mastery.
It's just nothing.
Yeah.
And it's narrative over truth. You know, I mean, it's not like when I hear people talk on either side of it, I always think they're lying. They're just telling me half of it.
Yeah.
And I never trust them anywhere until I check out the other half.
Yeah.
Once again, Bill Maher tore straight into the heart of the woke agenda, calling it the so-called narrative of truth, a label soaked in irony. For the ultra-left crowd, truth isn't their mission. It's their casualty. Their real goal is forcing their narrative down everyone's throat, no questions asked. Facts get twisted, honesty gets buried, and anyone brave enough to disagree gets canceled without hesitation. That's exactly why Maher refuses to march in their parade of pretenders. The woke movement, he said, is full of people pushing hidden motives, slowly tearing apart the values and traditions America was built on. His courage sent a visible shock through the studio, even earning nods from conservatives. And if you looked at Hostin's face during all this, she was pale as a ghost, desperate to cut him off. She tried one last weak jab, accusing him of abandoning his liberal roots. But Maher, cool as ever, was ready with the perfect comeback.
There's old school liberals, which I would mostly count myself as, old school conservatives. There's still some of those left.
You've changed, though.
Wait, what are the other two?
Go ahead.
What are the other two?
Well, that's what I was trying to find out in this book. I don't think I have. And, you know, we were saying in the break, we have to come up with a new word for woke. Let's have a contest, because this is a word that's triggering. But, I mean, those concepts that are different than they were 5 years ago.
Maher made it crystal clear. He's an old-school liberal who truly believes in social justice, but not the kind that traps people in endless misery. He drew a sharp line between his beliefs and those of the woke crowd, who think compassion means encouraging people to stay stuck, no matter how much it hurts them. To drive his point home, Maher gave a perfect example. An old-school liberal, he said, would help get homeless men off the streets and into safe, clean shelters where they can rebuild their lives. Meanwhile, the woke mob would rather leave them right there on the sidewalk, demanding that everyone else just accept it in the name of empathy. And anyone bold enough to question that twisted logic gets instantly labeled and canceled. Maher's words hit hard, because deep down, everyone knew he was right.
Homeless was a term that I thought we kind of came up with, because people were calling them bums and vagrants and hobos.
Now that's
homeless. Now, no.
It's unhoused.
Well, it's people
Unhoused.
experiencing
Now it's
homelessness. But they're experiencing it on the street.
Yeah.
Okay, the liberal view of that was, for compassion's sake, we're the liberals, we're compassionate. Let's get these people off the street. That's not the view of the, whatever word we're going to come up with for this. Their view of the homeless is they're an endangered species that needs to be protected in their natural habitat, living their best life under a bridge.
Maher's bravery, sharp wit, and biting sarcasm on The View were nothing short of spectacular. Viewers couldn't stop praising him for standing his ground and effortlessly putting the woke mob in their place. One fan even wrote, "I've never seen anyone dismantle the liberal woke narrative so calmly, yet so powerfully. It was legendary." Others jumped in to back Maher, calling out the hypocrisy on full display. One commenter said, "Unbelievable! These women are such hypocrites. It's hilarious that they complain about media bias when the media is already almost entirely on their side." Viewers also blasted Sunny Hostin for her manipulative tactics. "Sunny needs to stop putting words in people's mouths," one wrote, calling it pure gaslighting. Maher's appearance on The View wasn't just a debate. It was a masterclass in exposing woke hypocrisy. From the moment Hostin tried to corner him, Maher handled the chaos like a true pro. Calm, clever, and absolutely devastating. The woke mob never saw it coming, and their meltdown afterward proved just how hard they'd been hit. What's even more interesting is that Maher didn't stop there. He's also called out presidents he believes pander to ultra-left causes. During his time on The View, he even took a swipe at President Biden, questioning whether his age might affect his ability to truly lead the United States.
Biden just presents as old. It's not really fair.
No.
Because he's almost the same age. Trump is almost the same age as him.
I know.
But Trump doesn't present that way. You know, you look at somebody right away, you can kind of just sum them up. I mean, we are not young, but we don't present as old.
Yeah.
Biden does. I saw him yesterday making that speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, he's cadaver-like.
That must have stung. Being called incompetent and unfit to run the most powerful nation on earth is brutal enough, but being compared to a cadaver while still alive? That's next-level roasting. Maher delivered the line with surgical precision, tying it perfectly to the growing theory that President Biden isn't really the one in charge, that he's more of a puppet, while the real decision-makers hide behind the curtain, pulling the strings. Maher's appearance on The View didn't just ruffle feathers, it caused a full-blown political earthquake. His razor-sharp wit and devastating comebacks left Sunny Hostin looking like she wished the ground would swallow her whole. By the time Maher dropped his final truth bomb, her arguments were nothing but dust, and the woke mob's fragile narrative lay in ruins. They never stood a chance against his unshakable logic and fearless delivery. And that wraps up today's explosive segment. If you enjoyed this takedown, hit that like button and subscribe for more jaw-dropping showdowns with the woke crowd. You won't want to miss what's coming next.